Christoph Roberts is suing Garrett Jagger in the amount of $7,500. Mr. Roberts claims Mr. Jagger ruined his birthday party. Mr. Jagger claims he doesn't owe the plaintiff anything.
All rise. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
You may be seated. In the matter of Christoph Roberts versus Garrett Jagger, this is a claim for $7,500. And Mr. Roberts, you say that your neighbor destroyed your 60th birthday party.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want him to pay you $7,500. I don't know how we got to that number, but you'll explain it to me. What's going on?
I was looking forward to my 60th birthday and wanted to celebrate it with as lavish a party as I felt was prudent. And so I budgeted $15,000. Well, it was a birthday, my 60th. And I hired a mariachi band. I had the affair catered. I had decorations and furniture brought in, and so on and so forth, for this one-time event of mine. And Mr. Jagger, my next-door neighbor, caused such a ruckus in his home with all sorts of improper behavior that my party had to be cut short.
Why? What was going on at his house affect your house?
Well, about midway through my party, at about 9:30 at night, and the party was scheduled to run from 7 until midnight, the mariachi band took a break, and a terrible ruckus could be heard from the house next door, Mr. Jagger's house. Well, there was screaming and breaking of furniture, breaking of crockery. There were people running around. It sounded like somebody was being poleaxed over there. They were like they're being murdered in the property.
I learned a new word again, poleaxed.
Yeah, poleaxed, yes.
Oh, okay. And so, but why did that impact your house? Why couldn't you just call the police and keep partying? It was at his house next.
His ruckus was contained within his own premises, all right, except for the noise. My guests began to become concerned at all of the ruckus that was going on next door, and we began to be concerned about our safety, our own safety. So my guests began to move into the house.
Your party was outside.
Yes, indeed. We had a wonderful banquet with bouquets of flowers and the mariachi band and the whole
So you were outside in the backyard?
Yes, yes.
Oh, and you had a tent and everything set up?
Yeah, there was a canopy. As we moved inside the house, the ruckus continued next door, and it sounded like there were threats to, among at least one female and one male, being Mr. Jagger here. So we began to become concerned that something dangerous could be taking place there. So we called the police.
I think you all just were getting a little nosy. What you say?
Well, we didn't. Perhaps you were right, but we wanted to err on the side of.
He's looking to my property constantly, Your Honor.
So you had to end the party. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the party ended by itself. The guests began to leave. And no, indeed, we do not look into his property constantly.
All right. Let me hear from him, though, Mr. Jagger.
Yes, please, Your Honor. So we have this neighbor next to us. I have to admit, I moved in this neighborhood later than he did. But what happens now constantly is like he's having very loud parties like this 60th birthday party pretty much every week with bands, with music. And the other thing is they're very loud at their pool area because they host this nude parties. He's a nudist, and we have to see that from our upper floor, and all these things happening there when my little niece is there is just annoying, and I just want to be kept in my peace. So he likes to stare at our property, coming to our wall between the property lines, and he literally looks over there, and he always looks to me, to my girlfriend, and we know when he is like nude again, that's known in our entire neighborhood, we go like this because we can stand this. We don't like this kind of lifestyle. It's not my preference.
So what does that have to do with what was... Okay, no, that's his statement about you. Don't.
It's very
You
loud.
slandered him and talked about what was going on at his house.
Okay.
So tell me, so what was going on this particular day?
On this particular day, he had his party. He had this huge mariachi band, very loud, all night. They didn't even get the permit from our nice neighborhood because we're living in a gated premise.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
This other girl who was in my house with my girlfriend, she got very nervous because they did inappropriate things. I mean, really unacceptable. I was shocked. I walked in there and I saw something. I was like, what are you doing?
In Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Christoph Roberts, who is suing Garrett Jagger for $7,500.
The police come out and stop this?
Yes, the police came out and they were very respectful and nice, Your Honor, and they said, please, what's going on here? We explained them everything, and then the police said, okay, I guess you guys are now okay again in an okay level, and the police left us.
So were you
there.
throwing furniture and stuff around? Were things being broken up?
I personally, the one being here, wasn't. What's happened, this other girl who was in my house with my girlfriend, she got very nervous because they did inappropriate things. I mean, really unacceptable. I was shocked. I walked in there and I saw something. I was like...
And you thought she liked you and not other women?
Well, what happened exactly? I mean, she's my girlfriend for many years. I walk in there and then she's playing with this other girl. I forgive her. I love her so much, but that was too much.
So what did you do?
I yelled at her. I said, what are you doing? And then she said to me, like, why are you already back? I thought you back in the office until 2 a.m., like every day.
Oh,
and I'm like,
you got home early.
So I caught her pretty much in something inappropriate, and that was bad. And then this girl, she looks to me, and she has this Russian accent, and she says, like, these Americans, so horny. And I say, why you say that to me? You're doing wrong things. I didn't like that at all. I was like, too much, too much. It was too much.
Was furniture being thrown around?
Well, pretty much my girlfriend, she was like so upset about me seeing that, and then they got into a fight.
She was upset because you saw it, so
yes,
and you didn't know what was going on.
I almost was breaking down when I saw that. It was too much. I mean, there's this love, and we have our plans for our children and for our family. I see the thing, so I was like shocked. I was in a state of mind of being shocked. And then these two girls starting this argument because the Russian girl says to her pretty much, why didn't you tell me we're not alone? So of course they have not been alone when I was coming in. And then they got this huge fight, and they were the ones going into
the two of them then started fighting among themselves.
Yes, that was the big deal.
Because she was mad that she hadn't told you,
exactly.
And they got caught. So you think he should pay you because your party ended early?
Yes.
Well, he says you have parties every... That amazed you, didn't it?
Mr. Jagger has a penchant for exaggeration on the one side and minimizing on the other. There was none of this nude stuff in my yard appearing over the wall and all of that he's referring.
Well, I don't care if it's nude or not, but do you have parties regularly?
No, not a bit of it.
That was your first party?
Because his wife, Bunny, come here. All over the yard, his bunny has to hop to him and the other bunnies he has in his whirlpool. I mean, that's a lot. We're family-oriented. We hear this guy call.
Well, I don't know about your family-oriented. I think that may be something else-oriented now. So you don't give parties regularly?
No, we have a Bible study class every Saturday.
That's what he calls the after
You have a Bible
parties.
study class every what?
Every Saturday evening prior to going to church.
Okay, do they play music on Saturday evenings before you start studying? Do you maybe do a little praise and worship, and they play music and sing and clap and, use tambourines or whatever?
Well, perhaps to a subdued degree, yes.
To a subdued degree, yes.
And it very tastefully.
Very tastefully you play, you sing.
Yes, we sing.
And clap your hands.
Clap hands, tambourine.
Very softly.
Very softly, yes.
They don't only clap the hands. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. They are nude there, and it's like Adam and Eve because he's not wearing anything. He's running around bare.
He denies that he runs around bare. And
are you nudist in the house? Did you tell us that right? Why did you invite us for nude parties?
I generally shower nude, yes.
You generally shower nude.
And you run around nude in the house? You told me that several times.
And what's wrong with that?
I've never even... The only time I spoke to you at all was when I invited you to the party that we had
to the nudist party.
Birthday.
We told you we don't do that.
No, he says to the 60th birthday party he invited you.
Exactly. In an effort to bridge the chasm that we have between us from the time he moved in, I tried...
To bridge the what?
The chasm of...
He didn't know what that meant. That's why he couldn't come.
Well,
Exactly.
okay, there's a gulf.
I understand what chasm is, but he didn't know. That's why he couldn't come. When he said bridge the chasm, he thought maybe you wanted to go do something new.
Perhaps you're right. You may well be right, Your Honor.
And you know what? It's very interesting to see two neighbors fighting like this.
It
But
is.
what's interesting is I just sat here and allowed you all to talk with each other, because usually it's younger people that go at this catty stuff, or it's the the boyfriend and the girlfriend. I didn't expect that from you and from this man to banter like that, but it's quite amusing. But I must say that you don't have a cause of action in terms of a nuisance for the party and for the fight, because you're having a party with a mariachi band. So he could call yours a nuisance because you're making loud noise and you all are laughing and, dancing and partying. And how big was the band? I read it was a 12-piece band.
Yes.
Oh, so you were making noise.
Oh,
so he could complain about you. Your noise just was a different type of noise. They had an argument, you had a party. That's what happens in neighborhoods. Such is life. C'est la vie. Judgment for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Since we're in such close proximity, I'll make an extra effort to get along.
I can live with that as long as you give me my privacy, okay?
Coming up.
That's when I found out that Miss Heath, our tutor, was having an affair with